This video is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Welcome to the Car Guys, and this week, what has happened to my Porsche 718 Spyder? That's right, I'm going to give you a full update to exactly why this very special car has not been on the channel. And I'm going to come clean about exactly what's happened to it. The full story, why you haven't seen it. Are you ready for this? What, did you think something had happened to this car? Do you think I'd crashed it? Do you think it had been stolen? Do you think I'd sold it? No, not a bit of it. The 718 Spyder is here, and it's here to stay. But it's been 6 months. Many of you are asking what's happened to the 718 Spyder. It's a sunny day. It seemed like a good car to take out, so I thought this is the perfect time to give you a full update on what's happening with this car. Regular viewers of this channel will know that I picked up this car in December 2019, and I was going to make quite a few mods to it. But the simple truth is, I haven't done them yet. Well, I've not driven this car much at all. It's just coming up to 700 miles, which, considering I've now had it for, what, 6 months? And I hold my hand up to that, it is ridiculous. We had Christmas, and then we had a period of terrible rainy weather, which obviously meant I didn't really take it out much at all, and then we've had the pandemic. And because I made a pledge that I wasn't really going to ever put the roof up on this car, those aren't conditions for driving a 718 Spyder. Right, before we get started, a quick wristwatch check. This week I am wearing one of my workhorses. This is a Rolex Submariner. It's got a black ceramic bezel. It's very simple. There's no bubble on it for a date because there's no date. It's just a great all-round daily watch. And I have to say, it suits this car perfectly. So, state of play with the 718 Spyder. Exteriorly, the numbers are on, the PPF is done, all the little decals and everything I wanted are on the car, so it looks the part from the outside. However, on the inside, nothing much has changed. So, main things to talk about. The seats, they're not done yet. Dave the trimmer couldn't fit me in, most likely because I've sent so much business to him that he was jam-packed all the way through Jan and Feb. But I am very much still looking forward to getting these very basic Alcantara Porsche seats clad in a beautiful aged brown leather set, which will make it look like a 1950s RSK Porsche. So that's still definitely happening, and as soon as all this lockdown nonsense ends, hopefully, Dave, you can squeeze me in. The more I look at this car, the more I look at the interior, the more I realise that those aged brown leather seats are just going to look sensational. And I just think that's definitely the right move for this car. It's going to transform it, I think. I'm massively happy with the decals on the outside of this car. I know Jason thought maybe the meatballs should be a bit larger on the bonnet, but I looked at some of the old Porsche and you know, they tend to be sort of smaller than you'd think. I love the little Mobile Pegasus on the wing there. I just think that looks awesome. And as you can probably hear, there is no improvement to the noise. From the moment I drove this car, it was clear it needed an aftermarket exhaust. It does sound pretty horrible. Have a listen. See what I mean? It's just horrible. It's a horrible, characterless drone. I'm sure they've done everything they can, but the dreaded particulate filters and Euro regulations have absolutely strangled this beautiful engine. How you can make a 4-litre flat 6 engine sound this bad, I will never know. On the overrun, it's quite horrible and drony. When you're accelerating, it's just not loud enough, it's not tuneful enough. I want to get a lovely flat 6 roar out of it. Now, I've taken my sweet time looking at exhausts. I've looked at loads, I've been offered a couple, but to be honest, I had to choose the right one, and I think now I have chosen the right exhaust for this car. And that is the first aftermarket exhaust that I have ever put on a car. My 355 Spyder came with a tubey exhaust that was so loud it used to rattle windows in town centres as I drove by, and it also used to set off all the car alarms when I'd go into a multi-storey car park. So that one had to go. So this is the first time that I have ever actually modded any of my cars. And I realise it's quite cliched for someone on YouTube to put an aftermarket exhaust on their car, but in this case, this one case, it's essential. Now, bear in mind that I am still running this car in. Only having done 700 miles, it's not got to that magical, arbitrary 1,000 mile mark where I can properly goose it up to 8,500. At the moment, I'm taking it easy. I'm keeping it below 5,000 revs. I'm not leaving it on sustained revs in any particular gear, but because it's not running, that means I can't enjoy all the revs, and so I haven't yet been able to enjoy this car to the max. Should we have some beans? Should we have a little bit of beans? Yeah, let's have some beans. Ready? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Look at the way it turns in. Oh, it just wants more. Just wants to be let off the leash, this car. Don't worry, my friend. You will be. You will be. I just wanted to talk to you about Squarespace. Now, this is the all-in-one development platform that Jason and I use to set up and run the CarGuys.TV website. We very much chose Squarespace for the fact that everything is in one package. It's very easy to use. It was very simple to choose from all the templates provided, build up our website, link it all together, and then also, crucially, link in other things like our store. We've just set up a gallery for our Instagram, so that's linked to our Instagram account. It's also worth mentioning that you get a large number of templates as well. So when you're creating a website from scratch, you can browse through the templates provided and choose one with a style and a font and a structure that's best suited to the site that you want to create. So if you like what you hear, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and don't forget there's a special offer running at the moment for the Car Guys. So if you go to squarespace.com/TheCarGuys, you'll get 10% off your first domain or website. Sound good? Something else I've got to attend to very quickly is the brakes. They squeal. Oh God, it's so horrible. Why do they squeal so much? They're ceramic brakes, for goodness sake. Why on earth are they squealing all the time just like steel ones? So that's something I've got to sort out. I'm going to need to do some research. I'm going to have to find out. Lots of people have already told me that I just need to bed them in, whatever that means. How do you bed in ceramic brakes, for goodness sake? That's definitely an issue, because that is detracting from the enjoyment, again, of driving this car. Having it squeal every time you go near the brake pedal is not acceptable. And speaking of brake pedals, yes, that's right, the brake pedal fell off of this car just after I bought it. So it turns out that the aluminium brake pedal option from Porsche, when you tick it, means that they stick really horrible rubber galoshes onto the pedals with a thin slither of aluminium on them. So you don't get beautiful drilled pedals like my 355, which is kind of what I was expecting the option to be. No, you get this. You get that. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a crappy piece of metal screwed onto an even crappier rubber shoe, which then slips onto the pedals. I can only assume that this pedal was meant to be stuck on properly. I don't know whether that's a dealer fit option or whether it's done at the factory, but believe me, whoever did it, it was shoddy. So it fell off, and to be honest, I've left it off because I actually prefer just having the bare pedals underneath than putting one of those on. I don't want you to think, incidentally, that I am ungrateful or that I don't like this car. This car is awesome, but as with many new cars, you need to sort out the niggles. You've got to make it just perfect, particularly if it's a car that you're going to keep long term, as I am planning to with this car. I am going to spend many thousands of miles driving this car. I'm going to drive it all over Europe if I can, and I've got no plans to ever get rid of it. So all those people that contacted me to say that the spec that I chose was wrong because I wouldn't be able to sell it, I really don't care. I'm not getting rid of it. So I don't care about resale value. It could be 20p, it wouldn't matter. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make it perfect. I'm trying to get all the little bits right on this car so that it is the most enjoyable car to drive and everything is perfect. And you know, as with lots of new cars, there are niggles. And I have to say, the glimpse so far of what it could be is phenomenal. I'm so looking forward to taking advantage of some of this weather and getting the miles up so that I can properly rev the living shit out of it. And I can tell that it wants me to do that. It's urging me along to do it. One of the things I didn't expect is that when I pitch it into a corner, it's actually a little bit loose. It is not as tight as I expected it to be. There's a little bit of playfulness in the chassis, which makes it feel more like one of the old classic Porsche. There's quite a bit of play. I will make one admission though to all those people that commented on my spec and in some cases slagged it off. You were right about the heated seats. If you remember, I chose not to have heated seats because I did not want to burden the seats with more weight and electronics when I was just recovering them anyway. What I didn't realise though, and I probably should have done, is that if you don't specify heated seats, you get horrible blank buttons on the dashboard that basically proclaim that you were too cheap or stupid to have heated seats. So now every time I look at this lovely custom painted GT silver center console, I have to look at those blank buttons. Why Porsche just doesn't paint them GT silver, I will never know. I think they probably want people to tick all the option boxes so that you don't have blank buttons, but that was a bit annoying. So as soon as the lockdown and everything ends, I'm going to be getting Dave the trimmer to sort the seats. That is now a priority. Get the exhaust done, that's also a priority. And I'm going to pay a visit to my Porsche dealer to get the brake pedal sorted. And I've got to work out how to stop the squealing. So that's the update for this car. As soon as all those things are done, I'm going to be putting serious amounts of miles on this car. I had many road trips booked for 2020. I was going to go to the Alps, I was going to go all around on a special Porsche tour with Supercar Driver, I was going to go to the Isle of Man, I was going to go up to Scotland, I'm also going to go up to see a friend of the channel, Roger Bailey, who's also got one of these. So there were many trips I had planned which you were all going to come with me on, and at least a couple of those trips was going to be done in this car. So have no fear, you will see this car a lot more on this channel in the future, and obviously Jason will be driving it a lot more as well. But on a day like this, no roof, a fruitier exhaust, a more vintage interior, oh, this is going to be one hell of a drive. Thanks for watching this episode on the 718 Spyder. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel, leave comments and likes. You know that we read them all and we answer many of them. And there will be another Car Guys episode along next week.